Do you want to purchase fresh and local moringa? Then watch this video all the way to the end because I have a solution for you. Do you look at the ingredients on the back of your food labels? Do you want to buy more food that is locally grown? Are you concerned with the state of the organic food industry? Well, I promise that our friends at poweredbyplant711.com will be able to help you achieve your goals and provide you with fresh, local, and organic moringa that you can harvest right off the tree. They now have fresh leaves, drumsticks, seeds, flowers, even cuttings that you can come harvest yourself. This is a you-pick operation, and they offer fresh moringa greens along with the other materials that their trees are now providing. You can now reach out to poweredbyplant711.com yourself to harvest and make your own moringa products from the materials that they have on their trees. Call them directly. If you'd like to make income from your own moringa trees, you can learn now by grabbing a copy of my new book, Grow Moringa, The Ultimate Guide. If you already have moringa trees and you'd like to get more sales today, you could actually get calls by getting your pin on the Moringa map. You can join us now in the VIP members area of the Grow Moringa Collective. Sign up as a member today. It's now more affordable than ever. Now it's up to you. Make the decision to team up with other local growers and suppliers. It's going to help the Moringa movement and provide others with the ability to purchase Moringa from other local growers. I'm not the only one with Moringa anymore. You can now buy directly from our members today. Visit the Moringa map. I had the pleasure of visiting with one of our member locations this past weekend, and I wanted to share the benefits and the wealth of information these mighty moringa trees are now offering the neighborhood. If you haven't yet, like this video and subscribe to the Grow Moringa YouTube channel. Now, enjoy the interview with Alicia from poweredbyplants711.com. Thanks, Alicia. Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're more than welcome, and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome everyone to St. Petersburg, to my humble abode, my backyard. And I'm just so excited and elated that you're here.
Thank you.
You know, your presence is awesome. I am Alicia, and I have founded Powered by Plants. I am a registered nurse who had the wonderful opportunity to retire. And as a registered nurse, it's become very clear to me that medicine and people being prescribed medicines is not the cure-all. Powered by plants is what we need to embrace. Moringa being the granddaddy, being the Methuselah, being that if we could simply embrace Moringa and other plants, our health would be tremendously affected. It's my goal that hopefully people will start incorporating more plants. Okay, I'm not the police. I'm not going to tell you don't do this. I'm not going to label you. I simply say incorporate more plants. Okay, as you do that, I believe that your medications could be cut down. They could ultimately be eliminated. And then we can get to a place where we are doing preventative medicine and you're not taking anything. You are living and you are healing and you are loving life because you are powered by the almighty
I love
plant.
that. I love that.
Yes.
So what are some of the services that your new business wants to offer?
It is merchandise based. And I have all of these really cool affirmations, one of them being plant-based, period.
Love it.
And I want us to just rock the look.
Yes.
Okay? You got coffee cups. I've got hats. I've got dad hats. I've got t-shirts, computer cases. I mean, there are a myriad of different products that I have, and they all have wonderful different affirmations, asking people, encouraging people to simply be powered by
love
plants.
That. Just get it out there.
That's right.
You know, because we're proud of that, because I'm here 10 years later. I've been powered by plants for over 10 years.
So cool.
And that's why I came out with that video. When I knew that I was coming here, the biggest question people face and ask me is, are you getting enough protein? I'll drop and give you 50 push-ups.
Thank you.
You know, what do you think? You know, what does the rhinoceros say?
Hello.
What does the gorilla say?
We're simply cutting out the middleman.
That's it.
We're eating what they eat directly so that we can have that level of strength, right?
That's
Amino acids, they're in the plants.
The plant. It's funny you say that because actually this particular plant has more amino acids than any other plant. It has all 18. So it has the 9 essential and the 9 non-essential.
Wow.
Which means the 9 essential are things that your body doesn't make,
Mhm.
you know, from the chemical reactions.
Right.
It's something that you have to consume,
Right.
right? And that's what Moringa has.
Mhm.
And then also the other 9 are the things that your body kind of creates from the already minerals and stuff that you have inside.
Mhm.
But this has it all.
Yeah.
And it's also one of the reasons why it's one of the fastest growing trees in the world.
Yes.
It's a complete protein, and you've been lucky enough to have this right here as a source.
Mhm.
And you're in the ideal space.
Absolutely.
I was just saying how your husband has called me for the past
Right.
7 years, every single winter when Tampa is dry and cold and
Yes.
everything is dead.
Mhm.
He's calling me from the other side of the bay. Come on through, man.
Right.
They're loving it out here. And I'm like, show me a picture.
Yeah.
He's coming out here, and when we started this plot,
Yes.
it was like 20 little babies out
Mhm.
here in this little plot.
That's right.
And then every year I would come and they would get bigger, so I had to pull a few out.
Yes.
And then every year pull a few out. Now here we are, we're left with these 2 big daddies here.
Yes.
Even I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is the husband and this is the wife.
I love it.
You know, so they're here together,
Uh-huh.
they're living it up.
Yep.
And man, I've been able to get in these trees and harvest them. What a beautiful sight to see. I mean, you're dripping with pods.
Which is
So-
amazing.
The best part about this is actually the most valuable part of the tree. Anybody will tell you that the whole reason for growing the tree is not actually for the leaves. The leaves are just a byproduct. They're just an additive byproduct.
That's interesting.
This is the gold right here.
Wow.
This is what you've wanted to
pod.
get. And you were saying, how
Mhm.
come out of all these years,
Right.
this is the first year that all of these trees are pumping like this?
Mhm.
And that's because I didn't harvest this whole year. So instead of cutting it back and cutting it back, we let this
Got
go.
to this point.
We let it do its natural thing.
Mhm.
And now we've got these drumsticks, and this is actually what traditionally Indians, Native Americans,
Mhm.
Africans chop
Mhm.
and put into soups.
It almost looks like an okra.
It's a large okra.
That's what it looks like.
And it actually, the closest family member of the moringa tree is
Oh,
the papaya
the
tree.
papaya tree. Oh,
This
interesting.
is another form of a papaya. So it kind of looks a little bit like
Yeah.
a long, stringy papaya.
Wow.
And when you open this up inside, you've got the seeds, and they're white, they're immature,
Mhm.
they're light, but this, when you cook these, they get really soft and they pop in your mouth.
Oh.
They're so good. And when you put curries and really good spices in and you cook this with it, these become a super vitamin packed, mineral rich additive to any soup or meal. And this is really the gold that you want to eat.
The benefits are just
Yeah. And so
enormous.
if you don't have the ability to have potatoes, cassava, rice, but you've got moringa, what you can do is when you're cooking, this inside white is a starch,
Mm.
right? It's a
Mhm.
starch, and so it softens up.
Yeah.
And what people do is they'll scoop the starch out,
Mhm.
and they can make pancakes and breads and pastries, and it's like a potato.
Interesting.
And so just this one vegetable that comes off the tree is super valuable, and it has so many medicinal uses. Hey, thanks again for watching and subscribing to our channel. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us reach more like-minded growers. If you'd like me to stop by your location and promote your moringa business, just join the Grow Moringa Collective VIP members area. You'll have an opportunity to make more sales and get your pin on the moringa map. By the way, for all of you moringa growers, you can now grab a copy of my book, Grow Moringa, The Ultimate Guide. It's available in paperback. Visit growmoringa.com. Now, back to my interview with Alicia. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got here.
Well, it's always been something that I wanted to do, is to promote eating better. And, when you're working 12 plus hours, you are the last person that's going to pick up a piece of fruit or a veggie or something that would be good for you. Like I said, because I've been able to step away, then I can be more intentional about the choices that I make
right.
as far as eating. So I can only imagine how my health is going to be increased. And I wanted to talk about the circular.
Oh, I love that.
I love
your logo here.
Thank you. So the logo, it's round, and the circular motion is really the intention that I use for that is that when you're going in that motion, it's the path of least resistance. And as a fun fact, falcons actually fly in that formation.
Really?
So if you are going in the path of least resistance, you're going to get the maximum benefits with a minimum amount of effort.
Oh, I love that.
So if we can incorporate the plants, minimum effort, maximum benefits health-wise, that was a part of my intention in using that as a logo too. So it's just been something that I have wanted to do for years, and thanks to my husband who said, yeah, baby, you just go on and quit. He wasn't too happy about it, but it happened. But I just know that when you're doing something that you're passionate about, that it will bring you joy and it will bring others joy as well. So
yes,
that was the intention, and that has been, I just love the fact that, you know, all the greenery, and you know what's amazing, those green beans almost look like the pods.
They do.
So
they do.
I think I'm gonna say that those are moringa pods in there.
Yeah,
too.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So.
Looking great. And you know, the spiral is one of the two basic shapes. I just learned this the other day. When you take a spiral, right, and then which is a female form, and you take a straight line, which is the male form, and you put that together, you get a G. You know, and that's why we see the letter G in many, many symbolisms and things like that. Plus also, if you take numerology, A, B, C, D, E, F, G is the 7th letter, and 7 is heaven.
That's right. So number completion.
That's why I really love the logo.
7-11 too. That actually is my date of birth, but you know, everything was intentional.
It's great.
This. So I just know that it's a good thing. You know, when things are good, they align as they should. And being intentional about everything. Now that I can pause and think about things that I'm doing prior to being in that robotic, I got to get this task done, because when in nursing, if you don't document something, it did not happen. Right. So, you know, documentation and always thinking of like 5 steps ahead, and not being able to simply stop. Think about what you want to do.
Smell the roses. Smell the flowers.
Meditate.
Let's grab some of these flowers. Even.
All of that. So it's super
good.
So
look at this. So you were asking me actually about this, and you were like, where do the drumsticks come from? And they actually come from the pollination of these flowers. And you can even start to see they're starting to wilt a little bit. And pretty soon out of that right there, a drumstick will begin to form. Isn't that cool?
That is very cool.
And bees, they're highly attracted to white flowers because they see an infrared. So they don't even see red. So if it's a red flower, they don't even know it's a flower.
Wow.
They pass right by it. But one of the things that they see really well is white. And so being a white flower is really good for pollination. Now, one of the things that I notice a lot on these types of trees are the big black native bees. Those big bumblebees. Anytime I'm around a pollinating moringa tree, I always see
that one, a
native bumblebee on it, which I love.
Yeah.
Now, the only concern for growing moringa, because in Florida, it is on the invasive list, right? Because in some parts of Florida, it could grow all year and it could produce drumsticks like you see here in abundance. And the reason why they put it on the list is because they wanted to make sure that it's not detrimental to the other pollinators as well.
Okay.
Because it's not a native plant, it could increase the amount of non-native bugs. And so what they've been doing is just keeping an eye on it. And they've noticed, honestly, that it helps the environment more than anything else. And there hasn't been any...
How could you doubt, Moringa?
How could you in any way? And also, these flowers are extremely good to eat.
Really?
Oh, so good.
Okay.
You want to try one?
First thing I did when I came here, I grabbed the chunk.
They're spicy. They're spicy. That's a spice right there.
Well,
that's a spicy gunner.
Anybody that knows me knows that I am all about. I am muy caliente. I like the
spice.
So
try it? Go ahead.
The yellow part as well.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There were some leaves as well. The leaves are spicy.
But
Oh,
imagine
that's good.
adding that
That's very good.
to, say, like a dish or a garnish or a salad or even to a soup to spice it up a little bit.
Almost like has like a little bit of a radish
Exactly.
in the heat.
Well, because this tree is also known as the horseradish tree.
I can
And
see
so, whoa, after
Yeah.
you swallow it, it's like, that's a kick.
that. Very
And
good.
and one of our members here was also asking about the root system, because she's growing it intensively, kind of like how we started here.
Yeah.
And she's saying, well, by the winter time, I'm going to have a bunch of roots. What can I do with it? You want to harvest the roots before they're a year old, so that way they don't accumulate, say, toxins. Because one thing that roots do is, if they're in the ground for a long time, they will begin to absorb heavy metals, arsenic, and cyanide. And what those do is they naturally protect the root from other plants and other animals from eating it, right? From other pests from eating it. So anything that penetrates and tries to eat the root, they're gonna knock out, because they've got immobilized through the cyanide and the arsenic.
So they're protected.
So they're protected now, especially these trees, because they're over a year old, right? You don't want to really eat these roots.
Right.
But for any roots that are under a year old, they're actually made into a powder and used as a horseradish spice. So you can make wasabi out of the roots.
Yeah.
You can make all kinds of different things out of the roots.
Okay.
So there is a use for young moringa roots that are under a year old. You can add it to spices. You can slice it up like a ginger. It's amazing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Man, you are just a wealth of knowledge.
So I'm never ending. I'm an Aquarian, so I'm always like full of all of these, all these little things. But one of the main reasons why we're here is to also educate our audience as to what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Because in the past, for the past 7-8 years, I've been the only one in the local area that has come to the properties. I've been the one that's harvesting, and that puts a lot of pressure on me, because I've got now hundreds of people calling me every day asking for me to come over.
Yeah.
So the reason why we're here making this content is also to not only promote and share your new business, and to let others know that you have trees and they can reach you directly, even in the local neighborhood. If they need to grab a branch, if they need to grab a leaf, to just give you a call, because I want to circumnavigate, being in control of everything and decentralize this entire market.
Well, what's fabulous with the Powered by Plants, once you go to the website,
there
is,
services.
Services.
That's right.
And there is a phone number.
Great.
And that could be utilized.
Exactly. And that's all we're saying is, like, yeah, we want to still maintain a level of privacy and anonymity, and that's why it's going to be something that whatever you feel comfortable, whatever people feel comfortable. For instance, we have people on the Moringa map that I created, and they only have Moringa like you at home. And they don't necessarily want people to come to their home. Some people do, some people don't.
Right.
And so what they do is they're meeting people, say, at the intersection. Say, hey, oh, you want to get some moringa? Not a problem. How much do you need? I can cut a few branches for you, and I can bring it over to you.
Gotcha.
That way you can have it fresh, but you don't necessarily have to just bring people over to your house. It's whatever level of comfortability that you are, whatever level of privacy that you want. And that's why I love that you have a business. And I encourage everybody who is getting into this opportunity to have a front, have a business front, have a layer of protection in front of you, so that way you don't put your actual address up there. Get yourself a business phone number, get yourself a business email, and we are training and teaching all of our members to get to that level of business, so that way they can meet somebody at the Walmart parking lot and drop off fresh greens and make 20 bucks for the day, 50 bucks for the day. Or if they get a call and someone's like, hey, I'd love to harvest all your trees like I was. You can do things like, get some of their information for protection, make sure that you're protected in many ways, and say, okay, under these conditions, you can come over and harvest these trees, but you can't just come over willy-nilly, without my permission. You have to make sure that you create that kind of boundary, that barrier. And that's what we're teaching our members, so that they can have any level of participation in this that they'd like.
If they choose.
Now, I want you to know that if you're not able to do anything with these trees, it's not going to waste. Because look at this entire area right here.
Yes.
It's thriving. I mean, now you've got your bromeliads and your other little things and your herbs, and it looks just like everything around here is thriving.
Yes.
And that's because of the natural biostimulant properties that are in the leaves when it's actually falling, because these leaves fall very easily. They regenerate super fast. And by doing that, it helps to fertilize the local area with these very powerful leaves.
So you mentioned your book, and in your book, is it, I know you give a history of Moringa stuff, but is it tutorial in that people who want to know, like, okay, when should I cut it back?
Yes.
Or, it's all that listed in your book?
All of it, yep.
Awesome.
It's 400 pages of just amazing information. And what's cool about it right now is that it is in a digital form. And if you just hit Control F, you type in a word, and that word, it will find whatever word you're looking for in the document. So even just that little tool,
very user-friendly.
Just that little tool, but like people don't even really know that you just hit Control F and that's find. Control F is find. So on any web page or anything that you're looking for, like this is a long page, like I don't know, where is this word in this 400-page document? You hit Control F and you hit harvest, and it'll have all the 100 times that I say harvest in the book. It'll highlight it. So that way you can focus on those particular moments. If you type in soil, Control F, you hit soil, it'll tell you all the 100 times that I mentioned soil, so that way you can hit that. Because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's 10 chapters. First chapter is about business, mostly goes in on helping people to get to this level. Just start here. You did everything right in just getting to this part. This was the hardest part. Everything else from here is easy peasy, because now you have that boundary.
You got to do that groundwork. You got to lay that great foundation and then just simply build from there.
And then during that time, look, I honestly feel like the trees here have also helped you make that move and make that transition, because you come out here, you look at it and you're like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to go to the hospital today. You know, maybe I want to work outside with my hands more and work more with nature and the plants. And after about 6-7 years of you saying that, look at you, you know? Now you're doing your whole thing.
Absolutely. I absolutely believe that the trees and just having this view of going to my car, having to walk by this to get to my car to go do something that I'm not especially passionate about, you know, it makes a difference. And again, it all to me goes back to meditation, to being intentional. And it comes to you. If you can act on it, please, by all means, because, you know, life is so short. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So simply do the best you can while you've got the time to do it.
Love it. Yeah. Thank you, Alicia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
That's right.
For sure. All right, my friend.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
You too.
Thank you.
Yeah.